Alright, picture this. You're outside after a rainy afternoon. You look up and bam. There's a beautiful rainbow stretching across the sky like something straight out of a Disney movie. We've all seen it. We all love it. But have you ever stopped and thought, wait, why does it always have 7 colors? Like, why not 8 or 3? Or, I don't know, one giant neon Skittles strip? Well, grab your raincoat and science goggles, because the very first thing you need to know about a rainbow is it's a lie. The classic 7 color structure is arguably the biggest, most beautiful visual conspiracy in science. We've been taught it since kindergarten: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. But what if I told you that the person who gave us the 7 color rule made it up? This isn't just about optics, it's about psychology. We're breaking down the physics, the history, and the shocking human decision that dictates the colors you see. First things first, rainbows aren't actually real. Okay, I mean they're real, but you can't physically touch one. Rainbows are optical illusions caused by light bending through raindrops. Sunlight, which looks white to us, is actually a mix of all colors of light combined. When this white light enters a raindrop, it slows down, bends, and spreads apart into different colors. Each color bends at a slightly different angle because they have different wavelengths. The result, a perfectly organized rainbow of colors. And no, there isn't an actual end to a rainbow. It's a full circle. We only see part of it because the horizon gets in the way. But if you were high enough in the sky, like in an airplane, you could actually see a full 360-degree circular rainbow. Here's an even crazier fact. If you're standing next to someone else, you are both seeing a different rainbow. You are literally the center of your own universe. But why 7 colors? Now, here's the weird part. Science never said rainbows have to have exactly 7 colors. That was actually a human decision. Blame it on Sir Isaac Newton. Originally, he saw 5 colors: red, yellow, green, blue, and violet. But then he thought, wait, music has 7 notes, and 7 is a cool mystical number. So let's add 2 more. This is a classic example of a genius getting a little too clever. Boom, he squeezed in orange and indigo. And just like that, 7 became the magic number for rainbows. But did Newton actually see those extra colors? Or did he just force them into the spectrum to fit his 7-note music theory? It was a forced fit, a human construct layered on top of a natural phenomenon. This single, arbitrary decision by one brilliant guy still dictates how we teach rainbows today. It's the ultimate overreach of a scientist who just really liked the number 7. The 7-color rule is so ingrained, it feels like a universal truth, but it's not. Many cultures around the world never bought into Newton's 7-color rule. In the Japanese tradition, for example, they only acknowledge 5 colors, often skipping both indigo and orange altogether. The Russians sometimes view the 7 as just 2 colors: blue and cyan. And in some African languages, there's only one word that covers both blue and green. This means their mental rainbow might only have 6 or even 5 bands. This shows that the rainbow is not just physics, it's a social construct. It's what our language allows us to see. If you grew up in a culture that only had words for 5 primary colors, your brain would naturally simplify the spectrum. The reason we, in the West, see 7 is purely because we were taught the mnemonic RoyGBiv. It's a perfect example of the herd mentality at work. We see what everyone else says we should see. Could a rainbow have more or fewer colors? Absolutely. In fact, rainbows have way more colors than we can see. Our eyes are just not good enough. Our eyes can only detect a tiny slice of the color spectrum, the visible spectrum. But there are invisible colors hiding beyond the red and violet ends of the rainbow. On the red side, you have infrared, and on the violet side, you have ultraviolet. If you were a mantis shrimp, it has one of the most complex visual systems in the animal kingdom. It has up to 12 different color photoreceptors compared to our 3. If a mantis shrimp could describe a rainbow, it would be a vibrant, psychedelic, super spectrum. It would have a ridiculous number of colors and light bands that we can't even imagine. So, the 7-color rainbow isn't just a lie, it's an insult to the mantis shrimp. Even though the number of colors is debatable, the order is not. Every rainbow follows the same order: red on the outside, violet on the inside. Why? It all comes down to the simple law of physics called refraction. Red light has the longest wavelength, which means when it enters the raindrop, it bends the least. Violet light has the shortest wavelength, so it bends the most dramatically. The raindrop acts like a tiny prism, sorting the light by its stride length. That's why red is always on top and violet is at the bottom of a rainbow. The natural world is basically color-coded perfection. This consistent order gives us a sense of comfort and beauty in a chaotic world. Speaking of consistency, let's talk about the mind-blowing phenomenon of the double rainbow. This is where the physics of the illusion gets ramped up to 11. A double rainbow happens when light doesn't just bounce once inside a raindrop, it bounces twice before exiting. This extra bounce causes a second, fainter rainbow to appear above the primary one. But here is the critical part: the colors are reversed in the second, upper bow. While the primary bow is RoyGBiv from top to bottom, the secondary bow is RoyGBiv. The top of the second rainbow is violet, and the bottom is red. Why is this an emotional trigger? Because it's rare, it's counterintuitive, and it's a moment of pure, unadulterated awe. Seeing it is a badge of honor. It also encourages sharing and debate. I saw a double rainbow. Did you notice the colors were flipped? Let's bring this back to the social and psychological side. We established that the number 7 is an arbitrary human choice. So, what if we decided to change it now? Imagine a new viral challenge called the 5-3 color rainbow. You can only acknowledge red, green, and blue. All the beautiful blending is gone. Or, conversely, what if we all agreed to see the mantis shrimp's super spectrum and called it the Fate 20 color rainbow? The cake, like the rainbow, is a continuous object, yet humans instantly impose a rigid rule. They create rules like 7 colors, or a specific cutting method, and then debate anyone who deviates from that rule. The rainbow is the perfect metaphor for how we force rules onto the world. Here's the final mind blow, and it's a highly emotional one. What if every person actually sees colors differently, but we all just call them the same thing? What if my red looks like your blue? But because we passed the same test, we assume everything is the same. We agree on the label, but the internal experience of seeing red is totally unique to you. You could be experiencing a completely different color spectrum than me, but we'll never know. The rainbow is the ultimate proof of this. It's a continuous, infinite band of light. Yet our culture and our biology force us to see 7 distinct, separate colors. It's a trick of light, physics, and a massive dose of human imagination. So, next time you see a rainbow, you won't just see a beautiful arc in the sky. You'll see a masterpiece of physics, a historical accident, and a cultural conspiracy. You now know rainbows are full circles. They're unique to you. The 7 color rule was invented by a genius who really loved the number 7. The real rainbow has invisible colors that only a mantis shrimp can appreciate. What arbitrary human rule have you discovered that you think should be canceled? Would rainbows still be cool if they had only 3 colors? What if they had 50? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to Brain Ray for more mind-blowing science, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. See you in the next one.